Welcome to Washington in Focus. I'm Brett Davis. Joining me today is the Center Square's investigative reporter, TJ Martinell. This week, you authored a story headlined Speed Kills, addressing Washington's traffic death crisis. It looks like the state has a goal of no traffic deaths by 2030, but also looks like it has a long way to go. It looks like there's a high number of traffic deaths at the moment. Can you provide some numbers on those?
Yeah, so the number of people killed in traffic accidents last year was approximately 709. They're still working on finalizing the numbers, but it's not only the most since Governor Inslee started the Results Washington initiative to start tracking these numbers, but it's a 45% increase since 2019. And it's the biggest 3-year increase that the state has seen since the 1970s. So just to give some perspective, in 2013, there were 413 fatalities. It's been a very massive increase.
So what's the reason for that increase? Do you know?
Well, people not driving properly is probably the most easiest explanation, but the most common cause of a traffic fatality was impaired driver. That was responsible for 339 deaths. So then there was a speeding driver, so someone who was driving over the speed limit, that was 251 deaths. So it's just people driving badly in one form or another. They were either impaired or they were speeding.
So what are some of the potential solutions to this problem that they're looking into? I assume they're looking into solutions if they want to get down to zero from this rather lofty number.
Yeah, Governor Inslee indicated at a recent meeting that he's looking at or would hope to have more speed cameras set up on state highways, on just places where they can monitor people speeding. And it would obviously require money and require the installation and all that kind of stuff. But that's one potential solution. They're currently putting cameras in work zones, at hospitals, in school zones. So that may be potentially one thing that Washington drivers can look forward to, is seeing more cameras on their roads.
Has there been any pushback on that sort of thing?
I'm sure that there's a privacy concern.
I see some of the other possible solutions were proper driver training for those who wait until they're 18 or older to avoid the instruction school requirement. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know you could avoid that after you were 18. So I learned something today.
You don't have to go through driver's school after you're 18 to get a driver's license. You just have to be able to pass the driver's test, obviously. And so a lot of younger people are just foregoing getting a driver's license until they're 18 years old. And the problem is they're not going to be getting the proper training that they otherwise would get. And, as an aside, they're also looking at potentially beefing up the motorcycle endorsement requirements. There's a lot of stuff that you don't learn in motorcycle school. The biggest one is taking a sharp turn or taking a turn in a way that you avoid hitting something.
Kind of in the news recently with the recent death of actor Treat Williams.
Yeah, there's just, you don't learn as much. People would be surprised at how little you have to know or have to actually execute as far as a maneuver in order to get your endorsement.
Now, in terms of, maybe upping motorcycle license requirements and training for people 18 and older, would that be a legislative solution or?
Yeah, that would be the legislature to pass a bill like that.
Well, we look forward to seeing if this project actually makes a difference. So listeners can keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com. For TJ Martinell, this is Brett Davis. Please subscribe and thanks for listening.